I'd like to welcome you to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees meeting. It is November 10th, 2020 at approximately 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, could we please have the roll call?
Yes, Ms. Davis?
Present.
Mr. Burning?
Present.
Mr. Honolo?
Present.
All the trustees are present.
Next, I would ask everyone to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And I do see here that we have a young Michael. And Michael, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah, come on forward if you don't mind, please. Right here. Yeah, that's great. All right, thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
The first thing we have on our agenda this evening is a public hearing, and this is regarding the Hamilton County Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal years 2021 through 2023. And I'd like to turn it over to Kathleen Kennedy, who has a presentation for us.
Thank you, Mr. Honnerlaw. As the board may recall, this is the second of two scheduled public hearings regarding the township's application to the Community Development Block Grant Programs, as you stated, for fiscal years 2021, 2022, and 2023. The first public hearing was held at the board's last regular meeting in October, so this is the second of two advertised hearings. The first hearing was to solicit for ideas for our submission to the program. The intention sort of for this public hearing is to solicit any other ideas, but then also discuss the planned applications for this year's cycle. So after the first public hearing, we didn't receive any application ideas. So at this point, we have 4 applications in mind for the program. The first is the continuation of funding for the West College Hill Neighborhood Services Program in West College Hill. The application amount for that is about $135,000, planning on applying for $45,000 per year for 3 years. The second application is for funding to demolish the blighted property at 8 Staburn Avenue in Valleydale. We're going to be asking for $90,000 for that project.
How much was that? I'm sorry.
$90,000.
90?
The third application is a road improvement project in Madeline Circle, the Madeline Circle area. And the fourth project that we plan on applying for is funding for the replacement of the flat roof at the West College Hill Neighborhood Services Center building for approximately $20,000. Those projects are applied for in order of, I guess preference isn't quite the word, but sort of the township's preference for funding, so those applications are sorted in order. And then just as you may recall, the criteria for these applications are that they must benefit low to moderate income persons or serve to eliminate or prevent slums and blight and address a local urgent need. So that's all I have, Mr. Honolo.
On the Valleydale demolition, what property is that for?
It's 8 Staburn. It's at the corner of Staburn and Caldwell. It's the blue. It looks like there used to be a storefront on the first floor and then maybe an apartment or house on the second floor. It's a fairly large structure with a full basement. The other issue with the structure is that it's about 8 inches to a foot from the adjacent structure on a different piece of property. So it's going to be a pretty tricky demolition.
Gotcha.
The township's been working with the port for about a year to actually acquire the property, so we could have gone through the dangerous property process to demolish it. The only problem with doing that is then you're assessing the property for the cost of the demo, and then you're most likely either never going to receive it back or it'll never sell at like sheriff's auction because of the assessed
The
demo
cost.
cost.
Sure.
So we felt that the best way to go about it was to actually acquire the property, pursue grant funding to demo it, and then the township may have some discretion in what to do with it moving forward.
Well, that's a good idea, so we don't have to put our citizens, taxpayer dollars into it. We can get this grant. Okay.
We're hoping it'll actually come under $90,000, the cost of that demolition, but just to be safe, we're shooting for that.
Okay.
So,
Very good.
Ms. Kennedy, Mr. Arnold, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Ms. Kennedy, I see there's two separate line items for the West College Hill Community Center.
Correct.
One for a total of $135,000 and the other for $20,000.
Correct.
Can you explain the difference
Sure.
and why there are two line items?
The first application for the $45,000 a year is is to assist in their operating costs. And then the second application, overall, the fourth application, the $20,000 is just replacement of the flat roof.
Okay.
So the West College Hill Neighborhood Services Center is actually grandfathered into block grant program. Typically, they don't fund operating costs for programs. They like capital projects, improvement projects. But this is a project that the township has been applying for on their behalf for many, many, many years.
Okay.
So it's been sort of grandfathered in, but one is their operating costs, the second is the flat roof repair.
Thank you.
Okay. Kathleen, anything else?
Not unless there's any comment from the public.
Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address the board with any comments regarding the Hamilton County Community Development Block Grant Program? We'll let the record reflect. It appears there's not. Thank you, Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you.
Next, moving on with our agenda this evening, we have approval of minutes of our regular session and public hearing for October 13th, 2020, and our regular work session of October 27th, 2020. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, Mr. Burning, do we have the financial report?
Yes, Mr. Honolaw. For the month ending October 31st, 2020, the township expenditures were $1,937,462.60, and receipts were $2,688,724.72. The ending cash balance of $24,008,208.76 includes obligations for expenditure, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. What I do request from the board is a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue and reports for the period ending October 31st, 2020. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and I just want everyone to know that financial reports are available for viewing at the administration offices during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Honolaw.
Thank you, Mr. Burning. Next, moving on to departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Gilbert, do we have the Township Administrator's report?
Well, we do. Thank you, Mr. Hunterlaw. The first action item I have on the agenda, which is actually listed, is proposed rental rates for the Community Arts Center and the Grove Banquet Hall for 2021. However, I do have a question, hopefully, that Kim, maybe you can answer. In the report that was submitted by Mr. Schneider, it indicates that there's not enough data to support a second rental rate increase. Was there an initial rate increase post-renovation that I'm not aware of?
The first increase was after renovations,
Okay,
but I believe that they passed that at the end of last year.
yeah, and with anticipation,
I think what that means is because they've been closed for the good portion of 2020, that typically at this time every year they would, again, reconsider rates for 2021. Since there's no data, because there haven't been any rentals for this year, Mr. Schneider isn't proposing any rental rates increases for 2021.
Okay.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
There were increases.
There were increases.
At the end of last
Yeah,
year, and we
right.
closed it right after that.
Yes, gotcha. All right. So with that being said, I guess with the information that you have provided, I would seek a motion to authorize and approve the proposed rental rates for 2021 for the Arts Center in the Grove.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then likewise, following with the Community Arts Center, I guess I will turn it over to Kim really quick to let us know what the proposed holiday schedule is for the Arts Center.
We were just intending to be closed on Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, which is Friday, and then that following Saturday. We don't have any classes scheduled that for the entire week, so we're just going to let the staff have that time off. And then our proposed Christmas schedule that would be closed December the 21st through Saturday, January the 2nd. So we would reopen then on the 4th.
And that's typically what we do. That isn't uncommon. Most holiday season we close the Arts Center for that period of time. So unless there are any questions of that proposed schedule, I would seek a motion to approve the holiday operating schedule for the Community Arts Center.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next action item that I am requesting is approval or authorizing the administrator to execute an agreement with the City of Mount Healthy for the purchase of road salt. As the board is aware, this is something in an agreement we've entered into with the city for several years now, where the city doesn't have the capacity to store salt like we do. Being a good neighbor, we have authorized a certain amount of tonnage that they can purchase from the township, and that purchase cost, as outlined in the agreement, is actually our replacement cost. So I want the public to understand that if we bought salt for $50 a ton and we have to buy more salt to replace it, and now it costs us $75 a ton to replace the 50 that we sold Mount Healthy, Mount Healthy is paying $75 a ton, not what we pay for it at $50 a ton. So we're not losing money by selling them salt at a cheaper price. So the agreement specifies that they will pay the price that it costs us to replace it, not what we paid for it, if that makes sense. So again, it's the same agreement we've entered into with them for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. So I would just seek a motion to authorize me to sign that agreement.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last action item I have on the agenda is to authorize the township administrator to sign the health insurance renewal with National Underwriting Service. I'm happy to report due to, one, I think some of the innovative things we do with health benefits here at the township and the fact that we are self-funded, and some of the other programs that we've implemented into our health program, we are now seeing about a little under an 8% decrease in fixed costs and an overall expected increase, including claim costs, of less than 5%, which if you look at trending across the country and employers, that's unheard of. And I think that's a testament to Larry's hard work and working through some of these, I say, innovative things that we do from a health insurance perspective. Obviously, are the buy-in from employees into to understand that this is as much their plan as the employer-sponsored plan, because we are self-funded. You know, we pay claims, and I think we've seen that provide a lot of benefit to not only the employees, but I think to the taxpayers, to show that the benefits that we offer to our employees are done very efficiently, and they have actually, the programs that we put in place have actually saved the township significant amounts of money, and the fact that we're only seeing less than a 5% increase, and that's just an expected, because that's expected claim cost. I mean, it potentially could be an actual net savings at the end of the year, depending on where claims come in. So where most entities that are fully insured are seeing between a 15 to 20% increase, I think we're in a very good shape. So I would ask and entertain a motion to authorize me to sign that insurance renewal agreement with the National Underwriting Service, which is our proposed stop-loss carrier.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under discussion items, I'll turn it over first to Chief Leiniger to talk about the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund Board meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. It's Time again to have our annual Ohio Firefighters Dependency Fund annual meeting, and that is in compliance with Section 14605 of the Ohio Revised Code. What this is for part-time employees of the fire department. If they would be severely injured or killed in the line of duty, then this board would facilitate their claim under the Ohio Firefighters Dependency Fund. So at this time, I recommend that we meet or conduct our annual meeting prior to the next trustee meeting at 5:15 p.m. And the current board members are Trustee Mark Burning, Trustee Christy Davis, Robert Leininger, I am the chair, Fire Lieutenant Tom Sarvis is the secretary, and retired firefighter Paul Tenzing is the at-large member.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Next on the agenda, we have the personnel update. In the Public Works Department, we did have 2 new hires of community cleanup laborers. Their date of hire was Nicholas Beck, October 13th, 2020, and Donna Black, October 21st, 2020. They are the individuals, 2 of the 3 that we planned on hiring. We're still looking for the 3rd. We're still accepting applications and reviewing those as they come in for the 3rd labor position. And if the board remembers, that's the program, the Neat Streets program, where we're utilizing residential recycle and incentive grant funding to actually pay for the hourly rates for these individuals to clean up litter and trash throughout the township. So they're making a big impact already, and we're seeing results with that program. So glad that they're aboard. We did have the resignation of Jerry Sanders, a building monitor in the Arts Community Center. The date of resignation is November 2nd, 2020. And that concludes the personnel update for this month. Now I'll turn it over to Kim Flam for Community Events and Programs.
Thank you. While most events have been canceled, we do have 2 events that we've been able to pull off. Currently, the Local Art Show is taking place inside the Community Arts Center. We have 20 artists that are featured in that show, and we also created an online website that people can view the artwork, purchase online, separate from our website. And we did a streaming event on Friday, so people can still participate in that event and not actually be there in person. But by having the event over a weeks-long period during regular business hours, it kind of avoids having really large crowds that we typically get for our Local Art Show event. The in-person gallery will end on Saturday, November the 14th, but we're keeping the website open through December the 30th. So if people want to do holiday shopping, they can do that online to purchase artwork from local artists. Also, as part of that show, Arts Connect has been working for a number of years in getting a Charlie Harper gallery, and so that is a permanent installation that is over at the Art Center now. Part of it is from a private collection that is not for sale, and another section of the artwork is for sale, and we also now carry a small line of Charlie Harper retail. Then our traditional Breakfast with Santa event that would normally be held December 5th, that is going to be a combination of a virtual and kind of mailed event. So for $8, families can register, receive a link to Madcap Puppet Show online. We will mail them their craft kits, and then they can also sign up for a time when Santa is to call their house. So that is what we're able to do safely and get through 2020.
So Kim, could you remind everyone what your normal business, your regular business hours are if they want to come by and view the art show in person?
Yeah, so the Art Center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it. Looking at the remainder of the agenda, that concludes the administrator report, other than the board has copies of departmental activity reports. Unless there are any questions of those, that will conclude my report. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Next, moving on to resolutions this evening. The first resolution we have is resolution number 102, 2020, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 103, 2020, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying the same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 104, 2020, which is a supplemental appropriations within the General Fund, Gasoline Tax Fund, Road and Bridge Fund, Police District Fund, Fire District Fund, and the State Law Enforcement Fines Fund and appropriation adjustment in the Community Development Block Grant Fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 105, 2020, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to Revised Code Section 505.173 and ordering the removal of such vehicles pursuant to Resolution Number 80, 2012, and Revised Code Section 505.871. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 101, 2020, authorizing private sale of unneeded and unfit for use property in the police department. Do we have a motion?
Actually, number 106.
What did I say, 103?
101, you said.
I'm sorry, 106, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 107, 2020, authorizing sale by internet auction of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in the police department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, under the agenda, we have old business. Any old business this
No.
evening?
I do not.
Any new business?
I do not.
That's- Then we come to citizens' participation. If there's anyone here this evening that would like to address the board, we would ask that you come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Very good.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
Very
Mr. Rivers, how are
Joe
you?
Rivers, 2068 Blue Hill Drive. I come here today not to complain, but congratulate everybody on the good job what they're doing in Seven Hills. It's really starting to look better up there, and everybody's kind of noticing it up there. And I said it to myself, I said, we always come to complain, but we never come and give gratitude where it needs to be. And I just come to thank you guys for doing a pretty good job up there. We're about 65, maybe 70% where we need to be up there, and it's really looking good. We got just a few issues that we can probably eventually get taken care of. The speeding has gotten better. The trash has definitely got better. The roads can stand, I know we're having a problem with the roads, but everything's looking good up there, and I appreciate it. Really, really do, and all my members do.
We appreciate your cooperation and your help.
Joe, thank
Like I said,
you.
we're almost there.
That's right.
Like I always tell you, Joe, we appreciate that you care about your community, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And one thing I wanted to is probably jump on it next year because we're going into the winter, but we got a gravel pit down there. I guess is that a gravel pit down on Hamilton Avenue, right by Hillman Fasteners?
No, what that is it's a piece of property that what they call was not pad ready, meaning that there had to be some fill to be done on that site in order to make it developable.
Okay.
So in order to sort of kill two birds with one stone, the Jurgensen Company, which is a development company, and also they do a lot of road projects. So they have need to take some of the fill and some of the material that they have from some of their construction sites and the road improvement projects. They needed a place to fill it. So they bought that piece of property to do two things. One, to take the materials from their projects and have a place to actually utilize it as fill. And at the same time, by doing that, they're making that property to a point where it can be developed at some point in the future. So that the material really serves two purposes for them. One, they remove it from their projects, they bring it to a place where they can use it as fill. And then ultimately that site will be at a position where it'll be all leveled off. And then they will sell that property and someone will build something on it at some
So
point.
eventually it'll be.
Yes, yep.
The reason I brought that up is, like when we get really hot days or hot summer, it blows a lot of dust.
Yeah.
And you can see it in 7, you can see it on your porches, you can see it on your car, maybe next year if they're not finished with it, maybe they can wet it down or something, because what happened when it gets some winds, the dust gets in the air, you can come out the next day and actually rub your hand across your car.
Okay.
Or across your furniture on your porch, and it's just,
Gotcha.
dust. And
Okay.
I know all it needs to be done. Like right now, it's probably all right because we're going into the winter.
Sure.
It's going to be a little damp. But when it gets hot, it dries up and it gets in the air and it just.
No, that's reasonable. We have a good relationship with them, so we'll definitely reach out to them and make sure that they do that.
But other than that, thank you. Everything looks good. So here we getting there. We're almost there.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. All right, is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? Questions, comments, anything? All right, well, it appears not. Well, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Yep.